What's up, y'all? It is me, Q1. I am back with The Best Man, the final chapter. Listen, I said I wasn't gonna do that anymore. Every time I say y'all, I was gonna come back with two videos or whatever. I don't show up. So please forgive me. I have been watching All American all day, like the rest of season 6 of All American. And y'all, that show just, it made me smile. It made me cry. I was like, oh my God, this is why I stopped watching All American. So just trying to catch up on All American. It was pretty good though. It was good. I started when Billy died, aka Tay Diggs, aka Harper, who I've been digging in since episode 1. Okay, I just listen. I just wanted y'all to know that. Okay, so delay is not a denial. I get y'all episode 8 tomorrow. I'm sorry. I love y'all. I thank y'all for watching me. Don't forget though to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and also click on the notification bell to be notified for any upcoming videos. Also, I actually want to thank y'all because I see my subscriber list kind of going up. So this morning I saw it was like at 120, and then I moved up to 124. So listen, that's my happy dance. I'll come back to y'all with another happy dance, but this makes me happy. Thank you. And I hope y'all like my content. I hope y'all like the way I do content. I know I don't do blogs and all of that because it takes up so much time, and I I don't like to put that kind of stuff in my schedule. So I'm just more like reality TV and scripted TV. So, you know, just I don't know. I don't know. But also, the other thing I wanted to tell y'all, don't forget that since tomorrow, after tomorrow, I won't be doing The Best Man anymore. It's done. We still have 4 new shows that's gonna come back out. That's coming back. So I'm sorry, is it Young Famous and African? That I love that show. And Harlem is coming back, but this is Harlem's final season, y'all. So Harlem, what else? With Wags to Riches is Netflix. I don't know much about it, but this is the first season is gonna be season 1, and it was something else. Oh, Family Business, the New Orleans Family Business, New Orleans. Like, I've watched the original Family Business. I'm caught up, but this is the one where they take it on down to NOLA. So I definitely am going to be reviewing all 4 of those shows when they come back on. All 4 come back on this month. So I'll have 4 added on to what I'm already reviewing, or whatever's getting ready to go off. So that would be good. Anyway, let's go ahead. Let's just get into The Best Man, season 1, episode 7, Things Fall Apart. So y'all remember Quentin, in the last episode, Quentin had the heart attack. So it picks up with him and Shelby at the hospital. Quentin asked the doctor how is his heart, what if it happens again, and what would that be for him. So the doctor tells him there is no long-term damage to his heart. It was just a minor heart attack. So we see Harper and Jordan come into the hospital room, and I noticed that Jordan don't have on what she had on at the deal. She had on her coat, a sweatshirt, some type of alumni sweatshirt, and I want to say some pants. And so Shelby asks where they coming from, and they try to explain their way out of a paper bag. So Quentin tell him it sounded like they had a real eventful evening. So we flash back to 3 hours ago with Jordan and Harper, and they're in Brooklyn. And keep in mind, Jordan lives in Brooklyn, so they went to Jordan's house. They're actually walking at this point, reading the reviews from a lot of black media outlets of Harper's movie. Harper tells Jordan that her man has some choice words for his movie. Jordan tells Harper, don't call him that. And Harper asks why. She said, because it's complicated. And Harper tells her, it has always been. So y'all know Harper was referencing them two. They have always had a complicated situation. So Demetrius was calling Jordan, and Harper takes her phone and put the phone in his pocket. And so when it's next morning, it's day day in the morning, the sun is up, and Harper comes strolling in the house like ain't nothing. So Robin asked how Quentin was doing, and this is where you can see Harper deflects, because it gets get him out of the hot seat. So I don't know, it just this act that he been putting on when he knows he's in the hot seat, or is something he doesn't want to do. It's like he just act like he's not aware, like he purposely acts like he's not aware or nothing is going on. I don't know, that irks me. So Robin asked Harper, how was Quentin? And Robin also tells Harper that he was like, I know Shelby is a wreck, and he was like, yeah, so they talked about that a little bit. So then Robin goes on to tell Harper that she heard back from the Madunu organization and a nomadic experience in Ghana, and they want her to be a guest chef for the summer. So she said, we are going to have a good time. Harper said, did you say we? And she was like, yeah, we can go as a family, do everything for the culture, just kind of enjoy the summer where we don't have to be away from one another, because of course Harper is a writer, he can go wherever he wants. And so Harper gets hesitant. His response is very hesitant, and he end up agreeing while still being hesitant. And so we go over to the school, and a group of students have found Julian's MMA video, and it has gone viral. And apparently this must be I don't know where it went viral, but it's viral. And he goes up to them, takes the phone, because they're not supposed to have the phone until after, or so they had the phone out when they wasn't supposed to. He sees that it was that it was him on there, and he takes the phone and he tells the young man, you can come get the phone after class. Okay, so in the next scene, Jordan is at the doctor's appointment, and of course she's missed her appointment by she was supposed to go to one appointment. She went. She was supposed to do a follow-up, but she didn't go to her follow-up until months later. And so the doctor tells Jordan that she's concerned about her HCG levels, and they're not where they need to be. And so the doctor tells her that she could be Jordan was like, well, I'm thinking that I'm in perimenopause because of the hot flashes, because I'm tired, because all of the things. And so the doctor was like, well, it is possible that you could be pregnant, but nobody haven't taken a pregnancy test. So on this visit, I want to say this is where Jordan takes the pregnancy test, but we don't get to see it. So anyway, Candace comes into work, and it was a parent by the name of Rena approach Candace about experimenting with illicit drugs in the privacy of her own home to help decrease anxiety. And so apparently Keisha told the parents' daughter, and Keisha was tutoring that same young girl. And so Candace tells the mom that, hey, what I do outside my academia studies, what I do outside, what I do at school, it doesn't cross over to my job. Those are two separate things. And what I do in my house doesn't cross over to this school, doesn't cross over to, anything outside of that. So the parent, she gets aggravated and she walks off, and she tells her, hey, my daughter won't be studying with your daughter anymore. So Candace was really mad about that. And so in this moment, we get to Quentin and Shelby's, and he's really aggravated about the diet changing and, different habits that that Shelby is making him change in the house. So he has some really expensive cigars, and she sold them on eBay. She changed his diet to cauliflower, some type of cauliflower diet, mac and cheese with no cheese or something, some type of, I don't know if it's, I don't want to say vegan, but it was all good for Quentin. But Quentin is just the type of person, like, I'm a die high. I mean, I'm a go when I'm ready to go in the way I want to go, but I still want to do those things that I want to do while I'm still here on this earth. Most of the people are like that. Anyway, Jordan gets out of her car. I don't know if she was going into her home or whatever, but Demetrius stopped her, and he had 2 cups of coffee, so he was coming as a peace offering with the coffee. And Jordan tells him that she don't think that their values are in alignment with one another, just due to him not supporting the DEI exclusion, kind of like what's happening now. We're dealing with jobs getting rid of DEI. And so to me, Jordan is full of BS, because I feel like this is you once again sabotaging your relationships because you are waiting on Harper. Like, I've never seen it. It's so crazy to me. So we get another flashback of the premiere night with Jordan. They're in Brooklyn. Jordan and Harper are still in Brooklyn, and they're on a merry-go-round reading the comments. And Jordan tells Harper if he's going to stress over, what's happening, or is he going to get over it. And of course, we know how Harper is. So Harper is definitely going to stress over it. And she said, well, I have something to show you. So this is where they, he goes to her house. And so we flash forward to the present day. Lance and Harper are walking into Harper's home from, playing basketball. And so Lance is telling Harper that the Giants are gonna retire his number. They're gonna have this big old deal over at the Giants stadium for him. And he asked Harper, are you gonna be there? I need your support. And they all really do support one another. And I will say this, I love that friend group, and I love how they show up for one another when it comes to celebrating each other or having each other's back. There are some times where they have been holding each other accountable. It's just sometimes with the guys, it's like Anyway, so we see Candace and Murch Candace comes into Murch's office, and Keisha's in there. And Candace tells Keisha, keep our business in our house. Why would you go share what my dissertation is on so freely? So Murch gets up, and he was like, what you're doing is really unorthodox. And so Candace was like, I need you to support me. Murch was like, I can support you and still disagree with what you're doing. And so those two kind of butt heads. But Candace is still mad about the situation with Dr. Temple, and she hasn't told anybody. So she is still somehow internalizing this situation, trying to figure some stuff out. So, I hate that for her. So we are back now at Harper and Robin's, and Harper comes into the kitchen. Robin is actually warming his food. So Harper, when it was getting ready to eat, Harper left to go take a call. And so Robin, sorry y'all, wanted Harper to eat as a family. She tells Harper, then she goes on to talk about Ghana. So she tells Harper that Ghana was actually on her vision board from long ago, but she has forgotten about it. He asked her, and she said this. She said, I guess sometimes it takes years for stuff to manifest. And I really believe that, y'all. I really do. And so he asked her when are the dates for her to for her to be in Ghana. He knows that, but this is him trying to get his way out, because he does not want to go. He doesn't want to go. He keeps putting his stuff ahead of hers. And I don't know, it almost makes me feel like he doesn't want her to go. But whatever. So, Robin, yes, Robin is going to be gone June to mid-August. He tells Robin that his movie is getting a lot of heat, and the producers are setting up a bunch of meetings for him in mid-July for TV, for the TV and film. So she tells Harper if they can push it back to mid-August. And she said, "You're Harper Stewart. They can wait." Harper says that you have to strike the iron while it's hot. And then he pretends as if he's so interested in her food, because then he doesn't want to go, but he won't tell her. Like, I think that is so triggering to me. Like, if you don't want something, if you don't want to be in something, if you say it. Sorry, y'all. This is aggravating. Harper has really aggravated my big toe. Okay. And it was the way Robin looked at him with such disappointment, because I'm always there for you. I'm always showing up for you, and you just can't. It was just the way she looked at him, and it was just unfortunate, because I really felt bad for Robin, because all she wants is to thrive in her life. She wants what's for her, and she wants to be happy. And it's like, every time I'm trying to be happy, he's never supportive. He's never on board. He never has her back like she has his back. He's never available for her in a way that she needs him to be. Anyway, LJ walks into his room, and Lance has his clothes, because he wears women's clothes, shoes and clothes. So he has all his stuff thrown in the box, and LJ and he tells LJ that he's going through a phase, and that I've canceled your credit cards, so any purchase you make moving forward is gonna have to go through me. Y'all, once again, Lance has irritated me in this moment, because your homophobia is showing, and you're definitely is trying to insert his dominance over LJ, like trying to put fear in him, feeling like, just to try to get him to change his mind in who LJ is, instead of just being on board, instead of being on board and being supportive. You're fighting against him. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to me. So He tells LJ that he needs more guidance. LJ pushes back, and I'm glad that he did. He tells Lance that what he needs is a parent to accept him for who he is. Lance tells LJ, you don't know what you are. And no, he tells him, you don't know who you are. And you don't know who you are yet. And LJ tells us that you don't know who I am. And I just want to say this. I just so for me, I would like to say to the parents, just because your kid is underage doesn't mean they don't know who they are and what they want. Don't be so quick to discount them because you don't understand who they are. Like, just get to understand them. It's difficult, but our generation, our past generations are totally different to the kids of today. We have to learn how to kind of be on board with them and their wants and their needs. You can't I can't speak for anybody's parenting but mine, but it is difficult to change what we've learned. But sometimes you do have to roll with the times and roll with what makes your kid happy, and them becoming their own, being who they are, whatever makes them happy, as long as they're not hurting themselves or others, as long as they're pleased with themselves, and God is pleased with them. It is what it is. Your job is to love them. Your job is to nurture them. Your job is to help them navigate through this life. It's hard. Life is hard. It's even hard for us because even at our big old age, we're still trying to figure it out. And even with Lance, you still see he's trying to figure it out. So, so, um, you know, Lance just have to be accepting of LJ, because I think if Mia was still here, I think I said this in the last couple reviews. If Mia was still here, she would definitely accept who he is, and then it would in turn help Lance accept LJ for who he is. So in this moment, Lance starts to throw his weight around, his money, and it's exhausting. Because once again, I feel like he's trying to put fear into LJ so he can change. And it's like, LJ is not the one who needs to change. You are the one who needs to come to grips with what's happening, So, LJ was getting ready to say something. LJ is crying at this point, and they start arguing. And he was like, go ahead and say it. It's already in your heart. God already knows what's in your heart. And it's like you're using God to make him feel bad. Like, I don't know. I just, everybody use the Lord when it's beneficial for them to try to guilt people into doing something. And just don't do that. All right. So LJ tells him that instead of it being mom in that box, I wish it was you. Now that was pretty harsh. But that was harsh. I would have never told my parents that. I would not. But, it's insane. Anyway, so Jordan and Shelby are talking, and Shelby tells Jordan, that she asked Jordan, like, why is he so frustrated for the way I'm caring for him, since he had the heart attack. And she was like, Jordan says maybe he's just hiding his emotions. And she said, like, she is, like, just possibly hiding her emotions on the fact that she could possibly be pregnant. And so Shelby was like, what? And she was like, well, did you tell Demetrius? And so Jordan was like, no. Jordan said he doesn't know and that they broke up. Shelby asked does this breakup have anything to do with Harper? And of course, Jordan is in true denial. She says no, Cap. But, Shelby was like, I know something happened between y'all, you know. And she also tells Jordan, she said, since I've been married, I love the thought of being married. And I think Robin does too. So if something did happen between her and Harper, you need to take that to the grave. So we get another flashback from the premiere night. And at this point, they're at Jordan's house. And she kept these two rubber bands. I know the rubber bands that they, when you, how, the rubber band ball. I remember making those things so long ago. But they put their secrets and college dreams in the ball. It was two balls, and I want to say one had college dreams and one had little secrets. And, that's when we go over to Lance. So Lance is still in LJ's room, and he's praying to ask God to show him the way. And I was like, maybe you need to be shown the way. Maybe your heart needs to be open. Don't harden your heart towards him. But again, your job is to be there and love him, not provoke him. So Fate tells Lance that LJ didn't come home last night, and he turned off his location. And he always keeps his location on. So Faith is frantic at this moment. Lance tells her that she thinks he could be with Jordan or Kennedy. So y'all, we get over in the next scene, and Harper tells Robin that the producers want him to produce a sequel that focused on Jordan and Kendall only. And Robin's face was like, I know you lying, but she just said that was nice. So then she tells Harper that her Ghana itinerary has been changed and it's very busy. And so Harper tells her that his itinerary could be moving. It wasn't possible. Nothing was set in stone. At the end of the day, Harper doesn't want to be there. He doesn't want to support her. He doesn't. It's almost like he's trying to sabotage her. And I don't like it. So he then asks Robin if he can visit there July and August. When good and got doggone well, you know that her trip is over in mid-August. She asked him, what is he doing in June that you can't be there. Magically, his meetings are now in June with big execs. Harper is full of crap. Okay? But Harper is extremely selfish and self-serving. So Robin asks Harper, what about your family? And once again, Harper makes it about him. He says that me doing all of this is for y'all. Robin tells Harper she just wanted one. She's only asking for one thing. And the way, like, when all of this was set up, Mia's sitting there eating her food, but she noticed, like, the way she was looking, it was just so sad. Like, she don't know what's going on, but she know that her parents are not in a happy place, so she looks sad. And so his phone rings again, and he leaves to go talk to Stan, as if he could not say, oh, let me call you back. So he likes to avoid a lot of hard conversations. And, avoiding the hard conversations and not being supportive. Unless it's Jordan, you're supportive. But when it comes to Robin, you don't feel like she's worthy of supporting because you only look at her as your wife and Mia's mother and not an individual. And that's not okay. I really wanted to bring this to y'all the other day I watched it and I literally was in tears in episodes 7 and 8, especially 8. So anyway, sorry. Julian tells Candace, he comes into the room, she's, typing up her stuff, and he tells Candace that he's meeting with donors, and that he was like, remember I told you that? And she was just confused because he didn't tell her that, but that's him going to his MMA competition. And then he tells her he's going to meet up with Quentin. Candace then sees a notification about Dr. Temple being honored. She gets triggered, and in that moment of her being triggered, she writes a letter to the school about Dr. Temple. In the next scene, Robin walks into their bedroom, and tells Harper he's still on the phone. And when she walks in, he does like, yeah, I think that is so rude. Like, I'ma talk while you're on the phone. You don't have to do. Oh, God. Sorry. So he gets off the phone, and Robin tells him that she can't do this anymore. She tells him that she's given him decades and he can't give her a month. She also tells him that he will never change. She said that she can basically, I kind of paraphrase this, she can pretty much bend herself into a pretzel for him and he's still never going to change. She says she's not doing this anymore, that she's done. And he's like, what are you talking about? What do you mean what she's talking about? She's done. It's a lot. And I felt so bad for Robin. Because, again, and I think I said this in my last videos, Robin has given so much, y'all. If y'all watch the movie, she has, and nobody's asked her to do it. Now, let me say that. Nobody's asked her to do it. But when you love somebody, you stand by them and you're with them. You want them to win. You want them to grow. But at the same time, while they're winning and growing, you want the same support you've given to them. You want them to give you that same support. So Harper then gets a text from Quentin saying merch needs them ASAP. So y'all, in the next scene, Kelly and Keisha goes to Candace's room and show her Julian's video that's going viral. It's him practicing. The MMA competition is live, and he's actually practicing, in the locker room, just kind of warming himself up. And we also see the guys there. So how they found out, I really don't know. Maybe Merch finally told Quentin, and Quentin told the guys. But Candace, she leaves. She was like, hey, I'll be back. And she leaves to go to Merch's MMA competition. So everybody's sitting there cheering Merch on, and Candace starts to cheer him on. And I love, again, the support, the friend support, the friend group. I feel like everybody needs a strong friend group. I really do. And so Lance gets a text from a detective about LJ, and he leaves the fight. But before he left, he asked Quentin, hey, are you sure LJ isn't with Kennedy? Quentin said, I've checked already. They're not together. So the fight is over. Candace goes into the ring. She hugs Merch. She was like, you did it. It was good because they were good. That awkwardness, that breakdown they started to have, this is what, they're good. They're good. And so Harper is talking to Quentin, asking Quentin, how's he doing, since the heart attack. Quentin tells him he'll live. He was like, I just really want to do what I want to do, eat how I want to eat. He's expressed that. I want to do those things. And so Harper says, well, what about your family? What about Kennedy and Shelby? Quentin tells him, you're really going to lecture me about family. And so Harper was like, you're right. No, I'm not. And so Quentin proceeds to tell Harper that that movie hurt Murch. Harper says it was out of his control. Quentin said that's BS and proceeds to say ain't nothing out of your control. You make the choice. You make the choice and you have to live with the consequence. Harper then asked, are we still talking about Murch? And Quentin was like, am I? And so Harper tells him we all make mistakes. So I'm willing to bet that it wasn't just a kiss that was shared between Jordan and Harper. I think things went a lot further than what is being displayed on the show. So we get another flashback, once again, back at the movie premiere that night. Remember, Jordan and Harper were still at Jordan's house. And Jordan is reading her note. Her note says that find someone who gets you. And y'all, we know she wrote that about Harper. She then says that she doubt if it's possible anymore. Well, listen. The Lord ain't gonna bless no mess, okay? She is not gonna give you somebody else's husband, girl. Whatever. So Harper says, you always have Demetrius. And so Harper's note, his says to win the Pulitzer Prize and to win the ultimate prize. Well, we know Jordan is the ultimate prize, y'all. Jordan tells him that he's almost there. Congratulations. And he kisses her. They kiss. I was like, oh my God. But once again, they're interrupted by a phone call. So the phone rings. And remember, when Jordan and Harper was walking and looking at the reviews from the black review, blogs, she took his phone and put it in her pocket. And when Demetrius called Jordan, he took her phone and put it in his pocket. So they never swapped phones. So when Harper answered his phone, he thought it was his. They have the same type of phone. It was Shelby. And so she was like, oh my God, that's my phone. Is that Shelby? And Shelby was like, hello, Harper? Why are you answering her phone? And so she took the phone and she proceeds, to tell him about Quentin. So they head over, of course they head over to the hospital. Anyway, we flash back forward to Lance. He goes to meet the cop and the LJ's car is out by a river. And LJ isn't in the car. The cop said there is no sign of foul play. They are investigating. There is no blood. It was just sitting there. So in the next scene, Murch and Candace are at home now. And, she's taking care of the wound on his face. And, he tells Candace that he's been angry lately. And not because that's who he is. It's just, he just have stuff that needed to come out. So basically, I went to MMA to release all of that steam. So Candace was getting ready to tell Murch what Dr. Temple did to her, but instead of her telling him, because I guess she couldn't muscle up the words, and y'all, this is hard for people who have been assaulted. It's hard for them to say what has happened. So there are a lot of people who have been assaulted, and people have said, well, why are you waiting now? Why you just... It's hard for people to relive that trauma. You cannot tell people when they should speak on it, how they should speak on it, how soon, and some people even just, it's better if I write it down. So, Murch is, he reads the letter that Candace wrote up about Dr. Temple. He's visibly upset, y'all. And Candace, he was so mad, and she was like, I just need your love right now. That helps me get through this. She also says that she tried to replay everything in her mind, but ultimately, this was all on Dr. Temple. This, no matter how much I said I could have did this, I could have did that, this was all on Dr. Temple. This was solely him. This has nothing to do with me. It has nothing to do with you. And so Candace, and Merge tells Candace, hey, whenever you having a problem, if I'm asking you how are you doing, I need you to always be honest with me. Always. Let's just, she said, and she also said she feel like that they're in quicksand. And so Merge tells her, let's get out of this quicksand. And it's just, again, them really coming together and getting closer and connecting and really securing the love that they have, even through the toughest times, So in the next scene, Harper goes to Robin to talk. And so Robin was like, well, I'm listening because I have nothing to say. He apologizes to Robin and asks, can they go back to the therapist so they can compromise on that situation? And I was like, huh? And Robin was like, I'm sorry. He asked, can they go to the therapist and compromise like they did on premiere night? And so she asked him what really happened. He was like, huh? And so so she was like, Candace and Merch didn't show up. Quentin and Shelby were in a hospital. And so that leaves Demetrius, Lance, you, and Robin. So where were you? What happened exactly? Who was all there? Were they all there? And so Harper was like, not exactly. She was like, well, what exactly? And so before he can fully explain, he gets a text from Lance. And she was like, really? Again? While we're talking? And so Lance sent a text, LJ's missing. Please come ASAP. So he tells her, no, LJ is missing. So we need to go to Lance ASAP. So they immediately tabled the conversation. And Robin went to go grab her things. And he looks and he sees a note, that pad that he was writing on. And I want to say that chain that Robin had that said always. I do not think that technically that was her chain. I think that he gave that to her. But I really think ultimately it was for Jordan. Because y'all remember in the very first one, when him and Jordan was studying in undergrad, they started dancing, and then, there was about, he kissed her on the forehead, the forehead kiss, that's a dead giveaway. That, and then they was about to start kissing. They actually started kissing, and they was dancing off of Stevie Wonder Always. They started kissing, and then a CD skipped. I don't even know if that's how that song go, but the CD skipped or whatever, and they stopped. When I saw that chain, I didn't notice until I actually started to review, and I saw that chain, and then it immediately hit me like, wow, I don't think that chain was meant for her. I don't know. And so he reads the notepad that he wrote his feelings for. He was writing a script for Kendall and Jackson, per Harper and Robin, and it reads in his voice, but you also hear a woman's voice, which is Robin's voice. And I think she read that. She read it, and this is where the episode ends. this right here, y'all. This was a lot. I I think I'm gonna go ahead and do the next one maybe tonight, because I have to do two more. Still have to do RHOP and Married to Medicine tomorrow. I'm going to go look at it. It was just so much, y'all. I'm so sorry that it took all day, because that's on me. I was watching All American. But this is good. If you haven't watched it, please watch it with a with an open mind and all of that. It's really, 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 really good, y'all. So I will do the next one. And like I said, if I don't come today, I will definitely come back with y'all tomorrow. I want to come back with this one today. It's just going to be a little later. So, as before, please like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.